everybody. Welcome to today's episode of The Rope of Hope. I am your host, Kimberly Plesia, and today I have Tina from Your Backup Plan with me. And we're going to be talking to her about, having that backup plan, why we have those backup plans, and how her plan kind of came to fruition. But before we do that, you guys, if you are touched by this broadcast, if you want to help support this broadcast, please do me a favor. Go to buymeacoffee.com/this fat girl life. By being a follower and a supporter, you become part of this. This is not just my podcast, it's your podcast. And that is where you get the tea. Y'all, I just put some tea on there today. New post. So even if you don't become a supporter, as long as you're a follower, you get that information. And it's good. I'm telling you, it's good. So, buymeacoffee.com/this fat girl life. Tina, thank you so much for coming on my show today.
Oh, thank you, Kimberly. Thank you so very much.
Of course. Why don't you tell everybody just a little bit about yourself before we get started?
Absolutely. I'm very excited to be here with you, Kimberly, because I think it's a topic that we all avoid. It's taboo subject of having a backup plan for your life. And I can get better into how I started it all because it really has been quite the journey of mine, both obstacle-wise and business-wise and personal.
Well, let's go ahead and go into it. So at this point, I'm kind of going to let you take over and I'll jump in with questions.
Okay, awesome. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming on to Kimberly's podcast, everyone. It's such an exciting topic because we all avoid it. We're all invincible. We are all Superman in some shape or form. It doesn't matter if you're 20 or if you're 60. I talk to people all the time. It's not going to happen to me. And I hate to tell you this, but it is. It will in some shape or form, or whether it's drastic, it's slight, or it's a whole combination of a whole bunch of things thrown at you on your lap. It could be a natural disaster. It could be a hurricane. It could be the condo collapse in Florida, for example. I mean, who would have ever thought in a million years that something like that could happen? And that's what we're here to talk about, because I took my journey into I'm a financial advisor, I'm a best-selling author, I'm a creator and developer of Your Backup Plan app. And it's on, the website, it's on all the social media, it's on YouTube, it's everywhere. Kimberly could find me everywhere.
Yes, I could.
Yes. And so I wanted to make it easy. And I went through an episode myself where I wrote a story in a book called In the Blink of an Eye. And that's truly what happens to everyone is it's in the blink of an eye. Something happens. You might get a 5-minute evacuation notice with a wildfire, which happens all up and down the West Coast. It might be a COVID scare. It might be a disability. It might be the cancer word. It might be a heart attack. It might be a wildfire or a house fire. It might be a hurricane or a tornado. The list goes on. It could be a car accident. And these are all moments in our life where we've realized that we truly are not prepared. We're not prepared for what we want it to look like. That's a difference. There's a difference between having a will and a power of attorney and thinking, I am covered. I have everything all laid out. I'm good to go. No, you're not. You have maybe a quarter of your backup plan that is there for you. Because if something happens to you and you're disabled from a car accident, which I've had on my own podcast, a lady who had spinal cord injury from a car accident, you are still alive. And you have all this stuff in your own head when you're in a coma and can't speak. So who's going to look after your stuff? Who's going to pay your rent? Who's going to pay your mortgage? Where are your accounts? Where's your will? What disability do you have at work or not have at work or personal? And this is what I try to do, is help everybody understand what they have, what they don't have, and make your own plan. This is customized. This is DIY planning, basically, because you take my app and you create your own backup plan from it. And I love women because women are always wanting to learn more. We want to know why. I don't know, men don't care about why, but women do. And so it all started from, I know Kimberly's heard this story already. I had a dear friend who just turned 60, and her husband had called me and said, Carol has cough and she can't get rid of this cough over Easter. I don't know what we're going to do. So I'm going to drop her off at the hospital and she can get all checked out. Can you pick her up after she's done her tests? And I said, absolutely. Just give me a call. Mm-hmm. But he called later and said she's not coming out of the hospital. She's in for more testing. The next day, I find out she has stage 4 lung cancer. Oh. She is not coming out of the hospital. Can you imagine going into emergency and never seeing the outside of the door again? Like, that just blows my mind. And that happens with COVID right now. It's a perfect prime example. Perfect. Some of us get out of it with very little, and some of us are in ICU. And some of us are put into comas to relieve your lung capacity so that you can actually breathe. I actually had a friend who passed away in 2 weeks from COVID. Mm-hmm. So I kind of know, the ropes of that part. And we all think there's hope, just like your podcast says, we all want hope. But let's give us the power of knowing right from wrong, from knowing, what do I have? What do I want it to look like? Talk taboo with your family. Talk taboo with your spouse and your sister and your brother and your parents. Because the story with Carol in the hospital scared the bejeebies out of me. Because every week I'd go up and bring a cup of tea to her so it didn't taste like dishwater. And the elevator doors would open, if you can imagine, and I'm standing there taking a deep breath, had huge anxiety of how she was changing every single time I went to see her. And believe me, it's such a scary thing because it goes from sitting on the edge of the bed to, in a few more days, to having oxygen and lying in bed. Like, it just progressed so quickly. And at one of the visits, we did go outside onto the little patio on a bench seat. And she said, Tina, I just want to hear the birds. I just want to see the blue sky. I want to feel the breeze on my face. And that was my turning point for me. Because people, you don't know what it's like until death comes to you very, very closely. And it makes you realize the importance of things in life. And it makes you realize how unprepared we are. Our whole world was unprepared for COVID. And that's what made me create your backup plan app, because I thought, I want to help people get better prepared before something happens so that they don't have those worries. There's nothing worse than sitting around someone that's passing away and you aren't able to be there holding their hand, talking to them about life, about what everything means to each other, about having conversations with whatever amount of people are surrounding you, about being present, about really truly being present in the moment, because you don't want to forget this moment. You don't want to go after the person's passed away and say, geez, I wish I would have asked them that. I wish I would have known this. I wish I would have talked about this. I wish I would have told them how much I love them. I wish. And so this alleviates the stress. It alleviates all that clutter that's around all of us. Where are our passwords? Where are our bank accounts? Where's the key to the house? Where's the key to the garage? Where's the key to their business? Like, there's so much. Where's the keys to their car? Is the car a lease? Is it on a loan? Is it paid off? Like, all of these simple questions can be cleared up ahead of time, and not at the moment where you really need to be present with the person, either in recovery, because if you spread love with someone while they're recovering, it's very magical and it's very energetic. And you can create a lot of help with their recovery in that process. So I hope I'm making sense to everybody.
Oh, you're definitely making sense to me. Kind of walk me through the process. So, if somebody wants to use your app, we're hypothetical, I'm your client.
Okay.
Walk me through the process. This is kind of like my own personal test. Let's see how prepared I am, because I feel like I'm very prepared. So I download the app. That's step one, obviously.
Yes.
Walk me through the process. Let's go through this.
The app is available on Google Play Store as well as iTunes for Apple users. You can download it on your phone or a tablet. And you can then go through the process of creating your profile, which is all about you, and who you want to be as your guest user. Who do you want to be able to have access to this information? And you can put on as much information as you wish. We talk about that in the workshops. So on the side note of the app, we do Zoom workshops as well as Facebook workshops. And I'm creating a program called the Emerging Blueprint, which will help. It's 12 different modules, but it goes into great depth. It has worksheets so that you can actually call up your sister and say, come on over, let's have a glass of wine, let's have dinner, let's go through this quick worksheet, and you can answer all the questions.
Very nice.
Yeah, or your spouse or your boyfriend or your sister, your kids, it doesn't really matter. But especially 20 and up, because their social media, for example, if you go to the social media section in the app, it's very important, because if someone gets so sick that they're unable to open up their social media, or they've passed away tragically, that social media stays there forever. So do you want it to stay there forever? Do you want it have the possibility of the risk of it being hacked? Because a lot of hackers love social media accounts that aren't being used. And they can become that person and then take out credit cards. And I don't need to go into what they do, because I can't think like those people. But that's sort of what they do. So as little as one module, which is where are your bank accounts? Where's your will and power of attorney and living will? What do you want? And the third, I guess there's 4 modules probably I would say are the most important. How do you pay your bills if something happened to you? Your most important bills, like your electricity. So when you come out of the hospital, your lights are still on. And how do you pay your mortgage or your rent? So that your family members then know how to do that in case you don't come home in 3 or 4 weeks. All of those types of things are important modules. The next module, of course, is the social media. What do you want if you have a website? Kimberly, you have a website. Mm-hmm. What would you like with that website? Do you want it continued by someone? Do you want it just turned off? but do you want someone else to take over and continue it?
Okay. Actually, and I'm
Um,
going to be honest, I've never actually thought about that. Obviously, because I'm a solo business, the only person who has access to any of that is my spouse.
mhm.
And I mean, I could honestly say I would trust his judgment. If he wanted to take over my business, I would gladly, you know, do handle things. But I've never thought about it from the website for my business.
Mhm.
Because social media, I mean, I have access to his stuff, he has access to mine, so we can handle all that. I've
Right.
never thought that's something I've never thought about though.
And
I'm not
the
as prepared as I thought I was.
and the second important point is if something happened to you and your spouse or your partner, what do you want to have as that second avenue? If you were both in a car accident, so to speak. I know that there was quite a few couples and families that passed away in groups back with the tsunami in Japan or in Thailand a
Mm-hmm.
few years back. So it can happen. A
Oh
car
yeah,
accident can happen.
and that is something I can say that as a couple, my husband and I have approached someone and said, if something happened to us together, you are the executor. This is what we want. This is where you find everything.
Mm-hmm.
And we have all of our documents and all of that is laid out. But I still never thought of it from the business out. I'm gonna have to update some stuff now.
Oh, there's lots more. There's lots more. Like, um, I had a client who had a blog, and it wasn't really a business in his aspect. There might be listeners out there that do it as a hobby. But the digital world has put a whole other punch to our lives now because it's all hidden. And unless you have passwords and know what the person has, you have no clue. It used to be easy when everything came in the mail and Aunt Sally passed away in her apartment, and you could go into her apartment and you would get a bill in the mail and you'd say, okay, I have to turn off this electricity bill. I have to cancel the credit card. I have to, it all came through the mail. So you had an idea of what she had. But now we don't. We don't get mail. Majority of us don't get 99%. Like I literally get, one thing in the mail a month, maybe. So what is their cell phone? What is their passwords? At least if you don't know what they are, where is it? Where is this book? And you have a module in the app that says, where are your passwords? You just have to take a click picture of it and say it's in the top drawer.
Okay.
So they know. Where are your will? It's all great and handy and fine and wonderful if you have those 3 documents, but where the heck are they? And when someone says to you, which I have so many clients say, don't worry, I have it all done. It's just in the filing cabinet. It's just there for you. If you hear those words, it's never that easy. I have a client who, dad passed away having a heart attack, and he said he had it all, but where was it after 3 weeks of searching high and low, getting someone in to crack open their safe that had Home Depot flyers in it?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like no will in the safe. She had to pay for someone to open up his computer and crack that open to see, well, was there something in there? So let's get organized, and I help you through doing that. The Emerging Blueprint is workshops. It's a library of videos, and it's those worksheets that you can use on yourself as well as your family, because if we're prepared and we know what to do, we can help others that we need to help in our lives as well when something happens.
Well, I mean, just the little part of it that we've gone through, and I know there's so much more, but just that little part, as prepared as I thought I was, it makes me realize that maybe I'm not as prepared as I need to be.
Mhm.
So, what is the cost for this?
$7.99 on the App Store, and the emerging $7.99 for the
Really?
app. Yeah. And it's all there. It's easy to click. It's easy to take photos. And, you might say I'm prepared, but hey, there's a medical section in this app too. And it's all about what surgeries you've had, what prescriptions you've taken, and it keeps a log of everything and you can scroll through it, which is really super helpful when you have, you're a caregiver, for example.
Now that I do know.
Yes, and it's hard even for ourselves. Like, when did I have that surgery? Time goes by. Did I try that prescription? Did I actually take it? You can put notes in. You can sit at the doctor's office and put out your phone and say, I have a cough and a sneeze and I don't know, and I have a rash or something. And you go to the doctor office and you come out and you take a picture of the prescription, and then you can follow up later in your log and say, I didn't take that prescription, or I finished that prescription and I'm not any better, just so that you can keep this log for yourself. It's super important.
Well, Tina, I want to thank you for coming on and sharing all of this. I think even just this short little conversation, I've realized about myself that I'm not nearly as prepared as I thought I was. And I thought for sure that, I was good. I've been through, the death of a spouse and, went through all of that. So I thought for sure I knew what I needed to do. And I'm realizing now, even, and that was 8 years ago, things have changed in 8 years of what I need to provide to somebody else. And so much of it I planned on, my husband taking care of things or me taking care of things for him. But again, there's a lot of information that, my sister, one of my sisters, my aunt, my daughter don't know where that is.
That's right.
So definitely, I can guarantee I will be talking to my husband about this app. You will probably end up having us as customers because it's worth $8.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
spent more than $8 on a cup of coffee. I spent $10.50 this morning on coffee. I can spend $8 to make things easier for somebody else when it's my time.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for sharing what brought you to the point of creating this app and really what it can do, because you said at the beginning, we don't know when things are going to happen.
No.
We don't know how things are going to happen. So let's make it easier on everybody because they're going through enough as is.
Yes.
So thank you, thank you, thank you
Oh, thank
for
you.
Sharing this. I do have one final question for you. I
Okay.
ask this of every guest that comes on my show, and it has nothing to do with what we've talked about. What is the most inspiring thing that has ever been said to you?
I think I took it into my my podcast myself, and it's Mike Tyson's quote. You'd think I'd know it by heart, but I want to say it right. I want to say it correctly. So, everyone has a plan until you get punched in the face. Sometimes I've seen it. Everyone has a plan until you get punched in the mouth, but I don't think it really matters what you get punched in, because it hurts in so many shapes and forms. And you really don't have a plan until you come close to having that person beside you or yourself hit you. Something happens and it's life-changing. It really, truly is. And you realize how unimportant things are, but they're important to keeping your life going, perhaps, or if you've passed away, it's important for your family to know where your stuff is, because the unclaimed rate in Canada, United States, UK, Australia has increasingly daily because people buy life insurance, but they make tons of money from life insurance companies because people don't claim on the life insurance policy if they didn't know they had it. So everybody, it's great to have some things, but unless they're recorded somewhere put together all in one place, somewhere safe, out of theft's hands and fire's hands and water's hands, it's important to have it in one place in whatever shape or form that you put it into, whether you take a picture of the copy of your will or you take a picture of the drawer that it's in, whatever that looks like. It doesn't matter. It's just making it easier for who's left. So that was basically my summary.
And it was good. It was good. Well, you guys, definitely, I'm going to encourage everybody, if you don't do the app, find something, have the hard conversation. Is it fun thinking about death and what's going to happen? No, it's not. But these are important conversations that need to be had. So have that hard conversation. And if it takes a bottle of wine to do it, then drink the bottle of wine.
And
But
a great
have
dinner.
conversation. You guys, I hope you have an amazing night. I will be back next week with another amazing guest. Thanks for being here tonight, guys.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Kimberly. Thanks.
Of course.